Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Buforge Tax Preparation, Bravos Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Monzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our live get-together, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and today it is a pleasure to get together with you. It is Wednesday, July 9th, and I have to thank each and every one of you that took the time to send me a birthday greeting yesterday or the day before or this morning. I will try my best to answer each and every one of them, but I really appreciate you for keeping me in your thoughts. Today, yes, it's another day older and another day wiser. Paco, thank you very much for that, Gary, and your words are right on the money. Today, we have news. And I'm going to go to the important news. I'm going to save some more Mexico City stuff for tomorrow because we also have a wonderful 15-minute spotlight interview with our dear friend Pat Henry, who's been in Puerto Vallarta forever. And she has been a sailor, and she has been all kinds of things. And she has been busy in the last few years with her organic stretching program, which she teaches. So we're going to find out about that in the second half of the broadcast. But first, let's take a quick look at some news that I thought were important, and we want to share those today and not tomorrow. SEAPAL has announced that connections in the water supply in the city are being replaced at specific places today. Colonia Ramblaces, Primero de Mayo, Delfines, Ignacio Vallarta, and Héroes de la Patria. That's 5 local colonias that will be without water during the day. But service is expected to be fully restored today by 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We hope that this is the case. Where are the new buses? Some of you ask me occasionally, and this is a difficult question to answer because honestly, I don't keep track of when the announcements are made and when the promises are made. But there was this article this morning from Tribuna de la Bahía that provides some clarity. Essentially, it lets us know that we don't know where the buses are. It was back in April when Jalisco Transportation Minister Diego Monraz announced 67 new air-conditioned buses to be delivered back in May. And that was, of course, over a month ago. To this date, there has been no update at state level as to when the new buses are going to arrive or when they will be delivered. And unless I'm mistaken, this batch of buses does not have anything to do with some longer flexible buses that were announced to be delivered for circulation only on Francisco Medina Asensio. These were promised for later on in the year, but I don't remember what the date was. So because we have all these different announcements, I wish I had a better answer. But as soon as we do, I will definitely keep you posted. I also want to give you an update on the construction companies that were competing for construction of the Amado Nervo Bridge. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Communications, and Transportation has announced that it is 3 different companies that will handle the construction of the bridge with an investment of over 530 million pesos. The contract was signed this past Friday, and the project will be completed. This is so interesting to me. in 547 days. That's what they said. Not 546, not 548, not next week, not mañana, not ahorita, 547 days. So I can't help but to laugh a little bit about that very specific deadline. All I know is I hope it gets completed before the World Cup, because a lot of these infrastructure projects have something to do one way or another with the huge influx of visitors that the state will have during the golf club, the World Cup sometime next year. And this one is interesting, and it's definitely thought provoking. As you know, you can go and apply for a specific parking spot for your business with the city. I mean, there's a procedure. There is a limit of available spaces. But as you know, there some people out there are known for placing colorful obstacles outside of their homes or businesses, preventing others from using the parking spots. So the municipal traffic and road safety officers in the city carried out an operation yesterday to collect objects that were blocking parking spaces in the Emiliano Zapata neighborhood. During this particular operation, 14 objects were removed, including chairs, cans, boxes, and even makeshift structures that were being placed by residents or businesses to prevent people from parking in front of their spaces. The operation apparently concluded yesterday at 2 p.m. without incident. However, a lack of follow up turns these efforts into symbolic measures because frequently a lot of these people that block parking spots just go back to doing the same thing the following day as if nothing had happened. So, if you are in the habit of doing that, please know that you're not being very kind to other people that have a right to park wherever you're blocking this spot. And if you frequently suffer from not being able to park where you want to park because some person has decided to not allow you by putting some kind of makeshift obstacle, my thoughts and prayers are with you. The article that I'm referencing here goes on to say that the city would probably be more effective if they did these operatives on a regular basis, not just come out one day and then not do it again. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, which we'll take a look at in a little while, as usual. I want to wrap up the first half of news by letting you know that President Sheinbaum received another unexpected nod. This time, this came from singer-songwriter Billie Eilish. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Their last name. I think she goes by the pronouns of their. I'm not sure. But Billie publicly recognized Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum for her support of the American people in the face of the devastating floods in Texas, which have already claimed more than 100 lives. In an Instagram story shared with her more than 124 million followers, the Grammy winner posted an image of President Sheinbaum wearing the presidential sash, along with a photo of the Mexican rescue team deployed to the affected area. And she wrote, and I quote, "Mexico's leader chose to rise above hostility. She sent aid to Texas at a time when many in her position might have turned their backs, especially considering how Trump has treated immigrants." And I end the quote. That is good to know. That is good to know. Let me see. What do we have next? We have a weather forecast. Let us take a quick look at the oh, but I keep forgetting. B. Steinway requested to make another statement, which I'm happy to share with you before the weather break.
Hello, name's B. Steinway. As you know, Paco will host a music appreciation presentation about me this coming Thursday at 5 p.m. at the joint boutique hotel and co-work. He's been rather secretive about what he will talk about. I just hope he's not going to include that glittery encounter with Liberace. You know, he once sat on me wearing a rhinestone cape that shed glitter into my soundboard for weeks. Ugh, and I truly, truly hope he won't get into my stint with the Captain and Tennille. Muskrat love. Give me a break. They propped a soft rock ballad on my rack and winked at me like love would keep us together. It didn't. But knowing Paco's ability to tell a good story, I'm more than certain that you will want to know more about me and my staying power. So on Thursday at 5 p.m., you know where to be.
Ooh. B. Steinway can get a little testy, but rest assured, we will not talk about Liberace. We will not talk about the Captain and Tennille and their muskrat love. Let's talk about the weather instead. Rain stopping in 48 minutes, says Snarky Weatherman. Get down on your knees and thank me. Well, that deserves a boom boom, if you ask me. Currently, we are at 29 degrees with 74% humidity, and our weather forecast indicates that we will have thunderstorms throughout the day with a 71% chance of rain, a high temperature of 31, and a low temperature of 24. Tomorrow, Thursday, we can expect rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 66%, a high of 31, and a low of 23. And then on Friday, rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 73%, a high of 31, and a low of 23. I have one more bit of news that I wish to share before we dive into our spotlight interview. As part of New York City Pride 2025, one of the most important events for the LGBTQ plus movement globally, a historic sister city agreement was signed between Vallarta Pride and New York City Pride with the goal of strengthening inclusion, diverse tourism, and cultural diplomacy between Puerto Vallarta and New York City. The ceremony took place in Manhattan with the presence of institutional, cultural, and diplomatic representatives. The agreement includes a binational agenda that includes an exchange of artists and activists, scholarships for future LGBTQ plus leaders, educational programs, and joint tourism promotion strategy to position both cities as inclusive, safe, and world class destinations. I think that is excellent news, and it'll be fun to see moving forward how this agreement actually unfolds and manifests itself. And speaking of manifesting, I am so happy to share this interview with my dear friend Pat Henry. Um, who is just wonderful. And I can't believe that our friendship goes back so many years, and I can't believe she's still as brilliant as ever. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Spotlight. I am sitting here with the most amazing and one and only Pat Henry. Pat, how are you? It's such a pleasure to see you.
I am absolutely wonderfully good. Thank you, Paco. It's great to be here.
So I'm not entirely sure yet what brings you to the Spotlight today, but do allow me to say a few things of what I know about you, because we go back.
Long way.
We go back a long way. In fact, I have a very fond memory of interviewing you on your sailboat. When I used to have a podcast about Puerto Vallarta, even before podcasts were known, and I've known you to be affiliated with sailing, and then we have common friends in Yelapa, and you've authored books, and you're involved in organic stretching. Is this what brings you to the spotlight today?
Organic stretching.
Organic stretching.
It's on the table right now.
Literally. Do explain to me and to other people that are going to listen to this interview, what is organic stretching?
Okay. Uh, it is a movement system. It's a somatic movement system, meaning that your head is not up there saying, okay, now both arms do this and both arms do that, and all the messages you ever had all through your life that got planted in your head. This is coming from the body, and you can't hear it. You just sit back and let that body message lead your body to move where it needs to move. So basically, that's a big key of it.
Okay. So we're used to controlling, this is what I hear you say. You were used to controlling our movements with our mind, and we're wired to do that. But there is a way to tap into your inner something and have that inner place dictate your movements. Is that what you're saying?
That's pretty much what I'm saying. By comparison, okay, my little dog gets in the water, and when she comes out, if she sees something like a towel, she'll lay down on it and she'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle all over it to get dry.
That's a smart dog.
That's a smart dog.
That's
But
smart
we're all
dog.
like that,
Yeah.
you know, unless they've been overly domesticated. What do? We take the towel in our hand and we go all over our body,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we do it. So it's not doing it in the same way. And the reason for that is the real long-term goal that we've got is that we want to move every cubic millimeter of your tissues inside your body. And we have such patterned and limited movements in our repertoire that we would never get to most of the places.
Oh.
Okay?
Kind of like trying to reach that scratch that you cannot reach
That you cannot reach, right?
in the back of your back.
In the back of your back. Yes.
So people should be or might want to be interested in organic stretching because of flexibility, because of pain, or a combination. Do tell me.
Well, yes, that basically a lot of it's pain and restrictions from moving completely. And the older people get, the smaller that range is. We talk about range of motion. How far can I do what I'm doing?
And that gets more limited as we grow.
Because we never go there.
Exactly.
And where you don't move, you know your body's 70% water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where you don't move, those cells that haven't been moved end up being, instead of water inside, it's about like the old Jell-O that you found in the back of the refrigerator that you left out there maybe a month ago.
How did you know?
You've all done that. Well, I'll put the old Jell-O in the refrigerator. But imagine that in parts of your body that you aren't using and haven't used, you've got a lot of old Jell-O in there. And so you can't move. And if you force it or you have an accident and you've moved it quickly, you've done tears or you've created a painful situation. So if we spend our lifetime moving fully, we are going to be much more flexible, less likely to fall, less likely to have accidents and such, more stable. And that's a piece of it.
So I know that we're going to get at some point to the news that you have a space here in Puerto Vallarta where you're teaching this. But before we go there, who would want to be interested in organic stretching?
Well, if there's somebody that's dealing with pain, and that pain can be left over from an accident or something and it didn't get dealt with, or somebody who has a repeat motion thing. I worked with a sculptor, and he was sculpting all his life professionally, and it was in stone and in wood and also all this. And when he came to see me, he said, I can't sculpt anymore. And he was just in so much pain, and I taught him some special movements along with this other approach. And I saw him, maybe a month or two later. He says, I'm sculpting again.
Oh, wonderful.
So it can reverse. and we don't push through pain like most, no pain, no gain. We go up to the edge and we sit there and warm that space up. Not that you necessarily feel heat, and you move very slowly against that. But you don't know where those places are, and your body does. So we let the body direct you to go to that spot.
Wow. So this is something you teach, obviously.
Yes.
And what is that experience like? Let's say I'm listening to this interview and I'm thinking, oh, I want to connect with Pat. What happens? Is this a one-on-one or is it a group thing? What is the procedure?
Well, the most ideal situation really is to come to a group class.
Ah, it's a group class.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They're not large, maybe 7, 8 people at the most. And it's the less expensive way to go. And I've broken it down into 16 kind of ideas about how you move. I can't tell you where to move. Your body tells you that. But if I tell you to move very slowly, don't just race around. So we work on that one class. And another class, I have another manner of moving. So I'm teaching and guiding. And as we move forward, you begin to do your own work in the classes. So part of it, I'm leading it, showing you, because my body goes more places or different places. And then you do your own work.
Let me ask a specific scenario, and I certainly would probably qualify for that one. If you have someone that is particularly shy or in too much pain to commit to something they're not familiar with, is it possible to attend the class, to watch so that one can get acquainted, or is that not an option?
Well, I think it would be pointless.
Fair. But could you explain why?
Well, you need to feel the experience going on inside,
Okay.
and nobody's paying any attention to you. I mean, they're into their own. Myself, I always work with my eyes closed. When you're just learning, people are watching me. They're not watching each other. So it's a real, and it's a very community kind of thing. So when something happens that's funny, we can share in it and so on. So you would be missing that. The heart of it is what goes on. I feel it's a lot like Qigong in the sense of energy moving through. Once you get used to it, I mean, for me, if I just put my hand on my arm like this and I'm quiet and a bit meditative about it, that energy starts flowing through the body.
Oh, wow.
And that's the beauty of it.
And that requires, of course, practice and discipline.
Yeah.
So where is your studio?
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
You tell.
Okay, it's in Sonnet. And I started seeing a holistic doctor here, Dr. Sophia Lopez,
Okay.
a couple of years ago.
And Sana is...
Sana, of course, is health, but that was her creation. And she has just moved into a new facility that she developed, which is going to encompass a lot of different methods.
Oh, so that's what I was going
Yeah.
at, where I was heading when I said Sana is. This is a specific building or place or practice.
Yes. Technically, the title of her place is Sana, Centro de Medicina Holística Integral.
Oh, wow. And where is it located?
It's right on the edge between Versailles and Diaz Ordaz.
Okay.
It's on Palm Springs.
Okay.
Serrata, it's a little closed street, about a half a block down on Palm Springs from Ocampo.
Oh, that's very centrically located.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And it's beautiful.
So
Absolutely beautiful.
how frequently are you doing organic stretching there?
The classes are twice a week, Monday and Wednesday. And I do a morning series and I do an evening series, morning at 11 and evening at 7. And on Monday, we will be starting a series for 1 month, the month of July. That'll be 8 classes. It's kind of technically a half a program because the whole program is all 16 of my classes.
Oh, that's an important thing to know. So when you decide to commit, it is 16 different classes?
That's the normal pattern.
Okay.
Right now, I just have a 1 month class so that people can get halfway through, begin to feel it, and then when the next series starts, then they'll go on and join again.
So people can have the opportunity to jump in immediately.
Yeah.
And if they are not able to do so, when would be the next opportunity people would have to begin another cycle?
I haven't quite set that yet. I'm going away for part of August. September sometimes isn't a great month to start, so if I didn't do it in September, I'd be doing it in October.
Excellent.
And then through the season, I would be doing it every 2 months.
That is wonderful to know, Kat. Is there anything we're missing that you think is important that people know?
Well, I will just say this. It's men and women. It's all ages. It's all body types. I've had, my youngest student, I think, was 28, and my oldest was close to 90.
Wow.
So,
Well, this is wonderful. This is wonderful, Pat. It is a pleasure to see you continue to be busy doing things that move you, no pun intended. And it's easy to forget that time passes by, but I've known you for some time and I appreciate you, and I appreciate that very much.
yes, I do too. It's been a nice friendship all along. Even though periods of time go, we don't see each other, we start right off at the same
I always get happy when I see you.
Likewise.
Well, Pat, do you know that the Spotlight is your second or third or fourth home whenever you wish to come back to share news about whatever adventure you're undertaking? It is always a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you, Paco. I appreciate the opportunity and good to see you.
Likewise.
And that was our friend Pat Henry. If you haven't met Pat, she is a lady that is so full of life and so dynamic and so wonderful. If you have problems or issues with mobility, she's going to be here for a whole month, and then she takes a little break from Puerto Vallarta, and then she comes back. Feel free to reach out to her, and I will put her contact information in the show notes so that you can connect directly with our friend Pat Henry. As I announced a couple of days ago, there were no sign-ups for the Spotlight, so we will not be recording a Spotlight broadcast today. Wah, wah, wah. But, I'm always here, and if you have something to promote, if you have an interesting adventure or idea or business or anything that you wish to amplify, the Spotlight is available for you to consider. It is free. All you have to do is sign up ahead of time. So let us take a quick look at your comments for this morning and see where everybody's at. Lots of good mornings as usual. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Deb. Hello, all from my hammock. That sounds like a wonderful place to be. I don't know your hammock, but if I had a hammock in the apartment and I could broadcast from a hammock, I probably would want to be swinging in a hammock right about now. Let us see what else we see. Hello, Sean. Welcome to Puerto Vallarta, and what a nice place to stay, Garlands del Rio. That's a beautiful property. I hope you enjoy your time here in Puerto Vallarta. I love it. Do you think the bridge will be finished before 2000 and never? Well, Harold, it is what it is. I can appreciate your cynicism. It's easy to get, to start thinking about these promises and start forgetting about them. All I can say is I'm grateful that there are news outlets out there that keep people honest and accountable. And the same thing goes to, I'm getting ahead of your comments, but I see a number of people um, praising President Sheinbaum. She is a world leader like any other leader. She's not perfect. She's flawed. Why? Because she's human. But, she's open to being held accountable. There are detractors of President Sheinbaum, as there should be, because that's the way I understand how little I understand about the political process is you put someone in charge and you ensure that you express your needs as a people, and then you ensure that there are people in check that keep things in check in case you fuck things up. That's what I appreciate about my close friends. We all try to do good, and we all make mistakes from time to time. And I know that when I have made mistakes, my closest friends have found a kind, nurturing, and gentle way to point that out to me. And I think that's a choice we all make in this world. Let's see what else. Da 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 da. How was the birthday dinner? Thank you for asking, Queen of Question, Laura Lynn Cameron. First of all, thank you very much for your little poem that you sent me, a birthday poem. That was so sweet. Thank you so much for that. Lars surprised me by taking me and another dear friend to a wonderful restaurant that I had never been to, but that has been definitely on my list, and I am happy that I finally went. I am talking about La Fina. La Fina is this beautiful neighborhood restaurant in El Caloso. El Caloso is between Emiliano Zapata and the Libramiento. It's a neighborhood that a few years ago you would not have been walking around because it was a little questionable, but it is a beautiful place now, and it's been no, I wouldn't say it's been gentrified, but it is livable. It is livable. And that's where we went to have dinner last night. La Fina. Great restaurant. If you've been there before, let me know what you liked about it. If you haven't, definitely add it to your list. Let's see. Let's see. The bus situation is very sad for people trying to get to work or get home. I see them give up and call an Uber so they don't lose their jobs. Whatever happened to the fantastic bus services we had back in 2014 to 2019? Susan, it is the way I see it, and I could be wrong, it is a constant battle against the fact that things need to be replaced when they break down. And some of the buses that are in circulation are desperately in need of being replaced. I feel for people that use the bus every single day. I use the bus occasionally, but and thankfully I can afford an Uber if I'm running out of time to get somewhere. But all I can say is I hope that this gets resolved, at least until the new buses break down. What can I tell you? Oh, thank you, Patrick. I was hoping somebody would get a kick out of the AI voice that I found for B. Steinway. I've had so much fun having a slightly cranky British voice to represent the grand piano, which will be the center of attention in my presentation tomorrow. I'm so excited about that. Let's see. Claudia is a great leader. She's now recognized in all the world and respected. Finally, a president that fights for the rights and the image of Mexico. She's doing a great job. She's doing a great job. Again, she has people around her to keep her accountable, as any leader should. But I am happy to be represented by President Sheinbaum at present time. Let's see what else we have. Param pam pam, param pam pam. Just wondering if you received my message about the. Yes, I did, Stacy. Yes, I did. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, and I apologize for not having responded. I know you have cats for adoption, and it's not my time. It's not my time just yet. I was talking to friends last night that yes, I occasionally meet Miss Luna. But it's not my time yet. But I thank you so much for thinking about me. It's much appreciated. Oh, I got excited for a moment. We're going to the fabulous new Persian restaurant in West Van. So I suppose that's West Vancouver. I thought that we had a new Persian restaurant here in town. But enjoy. Thank you for keeping us posted, Barbara. And I look forward to your return to Puerto Vallarta. And thank you for your comment about La Fina. Just fabulous food and beautifully presented plates. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. We just had artificial turf installed at our Buceria's house. The rain hasn't. What? I cannot even pronounce that. I suppose you mean to say that the rain hasn't changed its color, but good for you. Cheryl has a nice comment for Pat Henry. Love Pat Henry. Well, that makes two of us. Again, she's a wonderful human, and she's a wonderful person, and a wonderful human, and a wonderful person, and an expert at her field. I am getting rambly, so I better sign off. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Thank you very much for supporting what we bring to the table. And I'll be back tomorrow morning for more coffee, more headlines, more stories. I hope to see you tomorrow morning. And if you're in town, I hope to see you tomorrow afternoon at my presentation at the Joint. Take care.